Okay, we're gonna try this again. Welcome to the Carcast, everybody. This is Lionel, and I just wanted to be honest. Today's Tuesday, which, not bad. It's not a bad day. Another day that I'm up and breathing. I really can't complain. We do have some hard realities, so I'm just going to state the facts, because that's what helps me the most, is just state the facts. So the facts right now are, I'm going to my job. I have medicine to prevent bad things from happening. That makes it impossible to have a job, so I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that I'm seizure free, and that I'm doing my best just to take it one day at a time. And I also just want to be honest that we need help, We're about ready to go part-time on our job because of our condition. We need to focus on our health because the current job we have is way too strenuous on the body, and with our physical limitations, it's too much. And so we're being honest and having conversations with our employer and seeing what happens. Because I'm not in control of that. The only thing I can control is being honest. And to be honest, the fact is we need help. We need a lot of help. We have DID, and that's a very serious mental illness. But I don't really like looking at it as a mental illness, but that's just me. I'm just kind of biased. I'm a scientist, so I tend to not see things for how they are, just mostly notice things. Very observant. And what I've observed from our system, at least what I'm aware of, is having DID is an adaptation. It's something that our brain did to survive. And what it did is when bad things, really intense trauma occurred, our brain shut off and gave it to a new identity, and that identity took on the trauma so that the rest of the body and the brain could live and have a life away from the trauma. Unfortunately for us, that happened way too much. At this point, we think we have about 250 authors. So, in layman terms, we're polyfragmented is what the psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists say, is that we are one of the worst cases of trauma they've probably ever seen. And we're very complex. The trauma is very complex. We have a very atypical system. Unfortunately for us, our system is not very functional. We're not very high functioning. We're very at surviving and adaptability and whatnot, but not so good at sustaining stability in the real world. And that, to me, is where it gets really interesting, because in our own world, we are functioning phenomenally well. We're surviving. We figure out ways using very creative ideas, very creative thought processes in order to make it in the real world. And I have to acknowledge that. For a system that's not very high functioning, we're still making it. Somehow. Not super great. We've been on the verge of homelessness for on and off, going between homelessness to the borderline for a year now. And that, to me, is where I'm just the most upset, and that's what I'm sitting with today. Because I don't think it's fair. We're not asking for much. We're literally asking for a job that makes enough money to pay our hospital bills, makes enough money to pay off all of this debt we've accumulated because of a physical condition that is not our fault. It's not our fault we have seizures. That's not our fault. And that's not something we can control. But it is something that we have to take responsibility for and be honest. Because we're the type of system that we push it to the brink, man. We will work 60 hours if we have to, if that means we make enough money. And that's what we did. And look where that ended up. We ended up in the hospital for 2 months because of that. Because our body couldn't handle it. We literally have gotten to the point of our trauma that our body can't handle much more. It's really being pushed to the limits, and we really need to start taking care of it. And the body's not even 30 yet. Our birthday's this weekend. We're not even 30, man. I mean, most of our altars aren't even, we're all different ages, but the body will be 30 this weekend. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal. I just don't even know what to think, I just really don't, because life right now is just so hard. And I know, the saying, life's hard, for everyone. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm just saying I'm about ready to lose everything. I'm going to be completely honest with you all out there. I'm currently paying rent on emergency funds from my work, and I'm thankful for that. So grateful. I'm paying gas with other people's money because our own money is actually zero. I am in so much debt that I am getting phone calls and letters, and I've talked to these companies and they don't care. They just want their money. We have 4 hospitals that want money from us. We have other facilities that want money from us. And we have no money to give any of these people. This is not our money. We don't have money. We currently are employed, but we're moving to part-time. Currently trying to get on food stamps and Medicaid so that we can at least get the medicine. Because once we lose this, because when we move to part-time, we lose our insurance. And since we lose our insurance, we lose the ability to get our meds, so we need to find new ways of doing that. And that's what we're dealing with right now. And I'm going to work right now. That's what I have to carry around with me. And this is just me being honest, man. And I just wish it wasn't this way. I just wish I had a different life. I wish I had a job that I could handle and make enough money to actually sustain life. And not even like buy a house or anything, because that's not my style. My style is minimalism. You know, I want to save up to buy a camper van so I can keep my dog with me and we can travel across the United States. I want to be a scientist, but that's not working right now because of the current situation in academia, which is where I want to be. So that's why we made this nonprofit, and we're hoping to get funds to start funding our own research once we get our PhD. So we're about a year away from getting our PhD. However, we're not currently in a program because they wouldn't let us in. So in the meantime, we're just going to start funding our own eventual research lab. So that's what we're asking money for, is to fund our nonprofit that goes towards our own research once we get our own research lab, so that we can finally do what we're meant to do. And that's science, man. Infectious disease, biochemistry, protein structure, work in infectious disease systems. Like, that's what we want to do. Protein signaling is our love. We don't get to do that right now, and it's really, really affecting us. We're the most stable and the most functional as a scientist. And once we got out of academia because of health issues, we lost it, man. We went homeless immediately and haven't ever gotten back. And that to me is the saddest part, is we have a system that tries so hard and does everything so well just to keep functioning, but we're tired. We're so tired of fighting in the struggle, and it's just too much. So, I don't know, man. I don't even know why I'm making this podcast, other than just to be honest. And just please subscribe, help us out. You know, if you can, it'd be great for you to help fund our dream of having our own research lab someday, and helping and be funded through a nonprofit. We're hoping to partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters so that we can help science education as well as science communication in the general public, so that there's no longer this terrible line that people don't think they're smart enough to understand science. Like, that is false, in my opinion. It is my job as a scientist to be able to explain my work. And things like COVID-19, viruses, things like that the public needs to know about. It's my job as a scientist to be able to explain it to you. And if you don't understand it, it's not your fault, it's mine. That's my job. And I'm very passionate about that. And that's what I want our nonprofit to go towards, is helping that. Get rid of that stigma. And the name of our nonprofit, once we get it started, is going to be called Science Together. Because we want to do science together in the community. And so that's where we're at. You know, I'm just talking. This is Lionel. We're headed to work, and just hoping that we make it by in the next 2 weeks. And if we don't, so be it. Just so be it, man. HP will provide no matter what, and we're just doing the best we can and what we can control, and that's asking for help if it's out there. So our YouTube channel is Anonymous Beats, where we have all of our alters be themselves. You know, and some of them's podcasts, some of them just play music. We also have alters that like art, so we're hoping to get more into art and poetry and storytelling. And we're we're hoping as the altars get more comfortable, we'll be able to share a lot more of what we can do and our talents. And yeah, thanks for this space. Thanks for listening. I think that's all I have today. So I just want to say thank you, and if you want to subscribe, put a like on our videos, including this one, I'd really appreciate it. It really would go towards funding a system that needs help. Really needs help. And with that, I'll sign off. Thank you.